We're going to bring in now Akiva Eldar, the chief political columnist for Haaretz, who joins us on the line right now, I understand.
Yes.
Yes?
I am on the line.
Okay, thank you so much for speaking to us. First, if you could just tell us more about these reports that 3 Israelis have been killed after a rocket was fired from Gaza into Israel. What can you tell us about this?
Well, I think that this is a real escalation because this is getting closer and closer to Tel Aviv. This is, as they said, Bad. It's not Beersheba, it's not Ashdod, and I understand that there are a group of people, or 5 people, who have been caught in the building, and they're trying to get them out of there in Kiryat Malachi. So this is the first time that the rockets are hitting this community.
Okay, just to reiterate, where exactly did this rocket strike? How close or far from the Gaza-Israeli border?
It's quite far. I would say it's around 25 kilometers, close to 30 kilometers. And what's important is that they crossed another red line. You know, the red line used to be first Ashkelon, Ashkelon, and Ashdod and Beersheba, and now it's Netivot, Dimona, and Kiryat Malachi. So it covers most of the southern neighborhoods, cities, communities in the south, and you know, the Israeli public opinion is getting more and more nervous because there are now more people who have to stay home, not hiding, and not sending their children to school. So it reminds me of the Second Lebanon War. It's a copy-paste from the north to the south now.
What sort of response do you think we're going to see from the Israeli government after this latest escalation? Again, 3 Israelis reported killed after a rocket was fired from Gaza into Israeli territory. What sort of response do you think are they mulling?
I think it's going to be a Pavlovian response. It's a kind of a ritual that will end up, of course, after a few people will die on both sides, they will come back to square one. It's now more than before because of the upcoming elections. It's not just a strategic issue; it's a political issue, and it allows Prime Minister Netanyahu and more than that Barak, who was until a few days ago very far from the threshold, and he was about to become political history. And now they are all over the place and in the talk shows. Yeah.
Do you think electoral factors are influencing Israel's decision-making? Why do you think we're seeing this escalation in violence now?
You know, it reminds me of the targeting of bin Laden that made President Obama look relevant again when it comes to fighting terrorism. And well, on the other hand, it's very difficult for a politician who is in the midst of his campaign to turn a blind eye to the fact that Israeli citizens, hundreds of thousands of them, are targeted by missiles from Gaza. So they were playing right into the hands of Netanyahu. You know, it reminds me that in '96, before the elections, it was the head of the Israeli intelligence, Moshe Bogi Ya'alon, who is now deputy prime minister from the Likud, who said on record that the Iranians are interested in a victory, a landslide victory of Benjamin Netanyahu over Shimon Peres, because this is exactly what they want, to undermine any prospect.
Right, but wouldn't this be a big gamble, though, for Benjamin Netanyahu right now? Does he really want to engage in another big war with Gaza, with Hamas in Gaza, with elections just around the corner in January? It is a big gamble, isn't it? Somewhat.
No, it's not, because if you look at the public polls and if you ask people in the street, even people from the Israeli soft left, they believe that he's doing the right thing. They believe that actually at this time we need someone like Netanyahu and not a woman such as Shelly Yakimovich, who has got no military experience.
Right. But I imagine that many Israelis must be also very worried, very concerned in the light of the escalation that we've seen in the last 10 days. And now news that 3 Israelis have been killed by this rocket launched from Gaza. I imagine they're also worried about their safety.
Yeah, but they put the blame, I would say, more than 90% of the Israelis are putting entirely the blame on the Palestinian side. They believe that Israel pulled out from Gaza, gave the Palestinians Gaza, and this is for them another indication that we don't have partners, that all this Oslo and the dream of reaching the final settlement with the Palestinians is completely irrelevant. It's even weird.
As we speak, Mr. Eldar, we're watching live pictures from Gaza of the funeral procession for Ahmad Jabari, who was killed in an Israeli strike on Wednesday. And we're also seeing live pictures from Gaza of smoke over the sky in Gaza there. So a very tense situation. What do you think the strategy is here as far as Israel is concerned? Are we seeing them resume with this policy of targeted assassinations? We had them on air yesterday on Al Jazeera telling us that this was planned, this was deliberate, they knew what they were going for. So what does this say about their policy moving forward? Are we going to see more of these targeted assassinations, do you think?
Yeah, I think that there is no such a thing as no war and no peace and an ongoing occupation. I think that we have to look at the broader picture in the context of the PLO, the Palestinian Authority, now trying to get an upgrade of the UN, with the complete summit in the peace process, with the expansion of the settlements. And this is a kind of a ritual, and this is the strategy of the current government, to make sure that the Israeli public will not be illusioned with messages of peace that are coming from other parties. And actually they have no strategy. They don't think of the day after. It's all about survival. And they want to see that they're resilient.
Okay, well, thank you very much for talking to us. That's Akiva Eldar, the chief political columnist for Haaretz.